Welcome to episode 2 of Drew's Basketball Crew here on this Tuesday morning. Yes, myself, Drew Skyberg, bringing you your winning daily fantasy basketball lineup on a Tuesday morning, not Monday nights. It works better for basketball, quite frankly, due to injury stuff, injury reports, lineups. We have more information, it seems, the morning of I've been looking into. So with that, information, we can kind of help, I'd say, project lineups tonight, talk about guys who are out, some value plays, and ends up making the experience better for myself and you, the listener, right? I mean, this helps out both of us here in creating that winning lineup. So that's kind of going to be the move here going forward. Again, we'll keep these like 10 to 15 minutes, in that range, of course, but try to do my best to get these out as early as possible. So we only had 2 games last week, so it's kind of weird, but we can kind of now go through the injury report, talk about guys who are out, the value plays you will get from like, let's say, player X being out. So let's roll right now. We're going to start with Detroit and Washington, and the story is going to be Marvin Bagley being out right now. I do like Isaiah Stewart. Again, he's starting. I do like him for, of course, some value there at center. There might be some better plays tonight, so I'll touch on those, but going on the Washington side, nobody out there of interest that could make a huge difference. Let's go to New Orleans, where there is a lot of stuff going on. So Zion Williamson is a game time decision right now, is what I'm seeing. And with that, that has some implications for us as fantasy basketball fans. If is Zion playing, not sure. But right now, if he is, and I think it looks like he is, but Brandon Ingram's the other one who's out who's for sure out. Also, EJ Little is also out. I'm looking again at, with New Orleans. I think a safe bet is just relying on those guards and even CJ McCollum. I think enhancement for them. I also think Jonas Valanciunas will benefit. I think he'll be on the floor more than anticipated in a night like this. Also, Jose Alvarado, someone off the bench maybe, who could potentially have some nice value, but that game's still up in the air based on Zion's status. Let's go to the Clippers and the Thunder. Both teams squaring off. Both teams have some great value plays tonight, and we'll start with Norman Powell, who's probably my favorite play tonight. Paul George out. He is starting with Kawhi, those two together. I love that for Powell because, I mean, there are some guys out. Also, Marcus Morris is out as well. So, like Nick Batum, maybe if Kawhi might be like your star you take, you maybe take Powell as like that bench play, or not a bench play, but more of a value play, right? So I feel like that would be great for this squad as well. Could be something there. But my favorite guards tonight are on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So sounds like Josh Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are out due to injury, and some think because of Victor Wembanyama. But certainly right now, injury is what's going on. Hopefully those guys get well. But Trey Mann, Aaron Wiggins are the two who are, going to assume a lot of the playing time there in their absence, right? And Giddey and Gilgeous-Alexander's absence. So those are going to be some players to keep in mind, right? I mean, Mann, Wiggins are certainly the two I'm looking at. I think Mann is probably the better one out of those, just in terms of accumulating points at the point guard position. So that's probably where I'd lean. But again, Aaron Wiggins would not be a bad play on this night. It'll be interesting to see who gets all the minutes, or some of the minutes here, who's the leading scorer with 2 of your main ball handlers, playmakers out of the game. So we'll keep that in mind. Let's go then to Phoenix, where Jay Crowder is still out. What that means Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson are the two who I'm looking at saying, okay, well, could be some value there. So I'd go to Bridges. I go to Johnson. One of those two I'd be taking tonight, just based on, I think you're going to get some better output. Dante DiVincenzo is out tonight. So what that means for, let's say Jordan Poole even, not even a guy who's starting. I think Poole could get increased minutes, play maybe starter minutes off the bench, they might say. So That'd be kind of with Klay Thompson there at the 2, maybe with Curry. Not sure with that, but there's only right now, there's only 4 games tonight to what I'm seeing. So, or that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. But then I also want to, go through some more plays, more value plays, right? Some guys off the bench potentially, but I think though in my lineups, that I'm making, right, you'll see him on the posts. You'll certainly see Norman Powell. He's going to be in all of them. Or he's going to be in the one I'm posting there. Certainly, you're going to see Trey Mann or Aaron Wiggins, one of the two. I mean, I feel again, you pick one. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of stacking that offense there, but when there's only 4 games, I feel like, you might just have to, right? So, like, you do Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard, you could do, and then Trey Mann, throw him in at point guard. Then I was looking, I was like, okay, well, right now the New Orleans game is something, with only 4 games, that New Orleans lineup, what's going on there with their forwards, concerns me a little bit because I think the value's there. I think once we hear the status of Zion and Herb Jones, I think that's going to be where we get the value. I think those 2 guys, both, again, game time decisions is going to affect who gets the output, but I do think for sure we can already assume Valanciunas, Devontae Graham, and McCollum are going to have a nice boost tonight because of that. So that's where I'm at with them. Otherwise, again, Isaiah Stewart, you want him in your lineup tonight, especially against that Washington defense of Kuzma, Porzingis. I feel Stewart could make a nice difference there. Otherwise, I'm not sure about Kevon Looney tonight against, again, that Phoenix squad. They're fairly healthy, other than, again, Jay Crowder being the lone man out for them. But I don't know, I'm looking also, I keep thinking about the Kawhi thing. Lou Dort's going to be on him, a very, very good defender. But again, I feel Leonard, sometimes you got to look in NBA, daily fantasy basketball. It's hard to look. I mean, matchups are important. Don't get me wrong, but I like to value opportunity over matchups just based on, right? I mean, I'm looking for players. You don't lose points for missed field goal attempts in a lot of lineups. So I'm looking for guys who are going to get, right, 30 plus minutes, maybe take 15 to 20 shots, maybe I'm at least looking for 5 to 10 more shots than they'll usually get. Just guys who will have the ball in their hands, right? That made Trey Mann such a valuable play last year when, guys like Gilgeous-Alexander and Giddey are out of games. So I just like to emphasize, I'm not picking players who matchups are harder to look at in basketball than even probably baseball. I just feel it is more valuable, especially in a daily fantasy setting, to value that. Again, player props is where we get more into matchups, but I feel, it's a good thing to look at for DFS. And I know this was a brief thing, but only 4 games today is going to make that brief because I was trying to look through, there are more games, but unfortunately not tonight. And I mean, we'll be looking into it more then next week. Hopefully, again, more. I have not looked at next Tuesday's schedule. Hoping for a big night of basketball. When we get a big night of basketball, we get more players. We get to have more diversification, and we get to have more winning lineups. Right? That's how I like to word it. But I know it was brief, 9 minutes. But again, we're in the morning of, so I'll stop rambling on here. And again, thank you everyone for listening here. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Journey to Million, our football show will be out. We'll be live. A lot of fun, 6 p.m. Again, Central will be that time. Again, join me on Fantasia Sports, the future of fantasy sports. They have free daily fantasy contests on there. That's what we're doing for basketball. Again, that link is down below. Use that link to be sure. But again, that's going to wrap it up for myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Tuesday morning. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow night.